Are you excited to dive into oil painting but not quite sure where to start? In this video, I'll walk you through 7 essential tips you absolutely need to know. First things first, invest in the right supplies. Don't go overboard buying the most expensive materials, but try to get quality paints, brushes, and canvas because it can make a big difference. You don't have to break the bank. The key is to get only the essentials, so fewer items, but of better quality. Wait, so this little brush and my old paint set from high school won't cut it? Not if you want to make anything decent with it. Here, take this. So it really makes a difference. I thought it was just for the pros. What if I'm not into it after all? Is it just going to be like the guitar all over again? That's the conundrum. It's your decision to make, but one thing's for sure, if you get poor quality paints, you'll have such a disappointing experience that you'll certainly feel frustrated and give up early. Good quality supplies don't guarantee success, but at least they're more pleasant to use and you'll be less frustrated and in the end, less disappointed. Alright, so I'll get the pro stuff, but in small quantities. Trust me, even beginners can notice it, plus you'll feel like a pro. Number 2, set up a good workspace. Oil painting can get messy, so setting up a dedicated workspace is a game changer, even if it means just using a corner in a room. Setting up a workspace for oil painting doesn't have to be complicated, but a few basics can make a tremendous difference. Start by choosing a well-ventilated area, open windows, or use a fan to keep the fresh air circulating, especially if you're using lots of solvents like turpentine, but there's no reason to worry too much about it if you follow my safety instructions that you can find by following the links in the description below. You can choose to have an arm palette that you hold in your hand or choose a table palette that's more practical and allows you to not have to carry your palette everywhere all the time. Arrange your materials so that they're easy to reach. You want to place your palette, your brushes, your paints in containers. You want to have a little container that can help you clean your brush that you can close every time you're not using it. You don't want to keep this stuff open. You also want to have some paper towels, rags on hand for wiping brushes, blotting paints as you go. A trash bag or a bin that can be closed tightly is great to have at arm's reach, and it will also make cleaning up easier. Also super important is light. Visual art is all about seeing properly, so good lighting is essential. Don't underestimate it. If a musician wants the best sound out of their instrument, you as a painter, you want the best light for your studio, same thing. Natural light is ideal. If you can have it, you can set up near a window. If it's not possible, use a daylight lamp that has a very neutral, almost daylight kind of temperature around 5000 kelvins to see your colors accurately and avoid harsh shadows as much as possible. With a simple organized setup, you'll have a workspace that can make oil painting comfortable for your eyes and enjoyable right from the start. And it's also very important for color accuracy and all this stuff. And finally, you want to really optimize your space so that you can spend less time doing menial tasks like cleaning and reaching out for stuff all the time and actually spend more time focusing on what matters, your paintings. Number 3, use a limited palette to start. As tempting as it is to dive into a full color range, a limited palette will help you learn color mixing values and how colors interact. So you want to start with a couple colors, not more than 3 or 4, plus white, and see how many shades you can create out of this. By the way, how am I supposed to get this exact green on my reference photo if I don't have sap green and emerald green? Yeah, but it's all about the values. See, color has 3 dimensions: hue, chroma, and value. And with a limited palette, you'll learn to focus primarily on values, which is the most important one, at least in the beginning, and it will improve your color sense in the long run. Yeah, but what if it's not the exact shade? Yeah, but here you're talking about hue, not value, and it doesn't matter as much. Most movies are color graded, so they change the colors, they change the hue to make the film more blue, more green, more yellow. and it's not bothering anybody as long as the values are in place. And in movies they call exposure, so it's the same thing for you. Values are so fundamental for your painting journey that you'll gain a lot out of studying separately from hue and chroma. And that's the key with limited palettes, is that they allow you to explore value on its own. Now, when you start working with oil paints, you'll need to know a little bit about mediums and solvents. Okay, there's tons of recipes here, but according to this book, the very best oil painting medium should be 1 part stand oil, 1 part Damar varnish, 5 parts turpentine, and 5% cicative. As a beginner, frankly, you don't need to get that specific. Just a drop or two of oil or solvent will get the job done most of the time. Yeah, but what about the recipe? Well, we can save the recipe for later when we actually know what we're doing and when we know exactly what kind of feature we want to change and modify, what we specifically want to achieve. For now, for beginners, let's focus on learning what a medium does. See, I didn't think about that. I was using a medium just because it says so in the book. And you don't know what it does? No. You don't know the difference between oil and solvent? No. Alright, so oil painting mediums and solvents can seem confusing. Basically, mediums can be used to change the consistency and fluidity of the paint, give it more body or extend it, make it more fluid or more workable. A basic medium is made of a drying oil and a thinner, or solvent. Oil is the main vehicle for the paint. It's the most important part of any medium because it's the binder. It's what slowly cures and solidifies to make a solid paint layer 500 years from now. On the other hand, solvents are to oil paint what water is to gouache or watercolor. They dilute the medium and allow you to create a fluid less concentrated with oil. This way, a medium containing solvent can have the same volume but a much smaller proportion of oil. Keep in mind that too much oil is not good for your paint film because the paint from the tube already has oil in it, and excessive amounts can cause drying problems. A good medium is typically 30% linseed oil to 70% odorless mineral spirits. Try it, and when you're used to this one, you can always make it evolve into something more complex for certain specific needs, to make your paint more glossy, make it dry faster, etc. But this is all stuff that really beginners shouldn't worry about. Section 5, layering technique with the fat over lean rule. The fat over lean rule in oil painting helps prevent cracking as your painting dries. Essentially, it means applying lean, so thinner layers of paint first, so layers containing less oil, followed by fat, so thicker or more oil-rich layers on top. The reason for doing this is that lean layers, so layers containing more solvent and less oil, dry faster than fat layers, and that layering thicker paint on top of thin, dry layers gives your painting a flexible foundation. If you put thick layers down first, they may dry unevenly and crack as they cure, which would be very detrimental to your painting. To follow the fat over lean rule, you want to start by mixing your initial layers with a bit of solvent like turpentine or odorless mineral spirits to thin the paint down, creating a leaner, faster drying base. And as you add layers, you gradually use less solvent and more oil. This technique is especially useful for layered or indirect paintings as it keeps your layers stable and looking great over time. But for you as a beginner, it shouldn't be too much of a reason to worry because you can escape it entirely if you only paint with a single layer, which is called alla prima or direct painting. Most of your first exercises, like the practice you make, the studies you make, should be single layers anyway. The only thing is that if you need to make corrections and stack up multiple layers, now you know how to do it, just have to follow the fat over lean rule. It's not that complicated. Alright, number 6, oil paint takes a long time to dry and it's actually great. One of the most unique aspects of oil paint is its slow drying time, which gives you more time to blend and more time to work. That's called open time. This painting still isn't dry. Am I doing something wrong? Should I be using some of this cicative? Whatever. Hold on there. Secatives or drying agents can actually make the paint dry too quickly and lead to cracks down the line. Oil paint just requires a little patience. Some paintings can take days, weeks, or months to dry, but it's worth the time to let it cure naturally. You just have to plan accordingly. What I like to do is have several projects and work on a different painting if one is waiting to dry. It's fun and you never get bored. Yeah, but I just did this and I'm happy now. I have all these ideas for the next layer. It's so hard to wait. I get it. Oil paint drying is definitely a test of patience, but that's also what makes it special. This slow drying time helps you rework, make corrections, blend, and you have the time to do that. You can go grab a coffee, come back. Your painting is not dry yet. You have a whole day at least, and sometimes you can have several days of open time. And that's actually great. It's one of the greatest qualities of oil painting, and if you want to really speed up the drying time, there's no reason to do it as a beginner. That's all. So just let your painting sit for a bit and wait. Be patient. Trust me, it will be worth it. And final and most important thing for beginners, oil painting has a learning curve, and that's totally okay. Mistakes will happen and they are part of the process. One great thing about oil is that you can paint over sections that you don't like, even after they've dried, even after they've dried for years. You can embrace your mistakes and keep experimenting. This is the amazing thing about this medium, is that it's very forgiving and you can always paint over areas that you don't like. Ah, really? I was afraid I would ruin the whole thing if I messed up. Well, in fact, oil painting can have a lot more depth if it's been painted with multiple layers. So embrace this process. It's one of the best things that can happen to artists. Covering up mistakes is actually better because it brings more texture, more complexity. Mistakes are part of the learning process and part of the painting process. So just keep experimenting and you'll learn as you go. Oil painting is an amazing journey of discovery and creativity. Take your time, explore and practice. If you want to start, you can click on this video to get to a nice exercise that I recommend for beginners. I'll see you in this one. And as always, my friends, joy and inspiration to you.